of 500 kg, showing significant potential for the growth of the industry, which is around 40% of world average. So continued growth in middle class and urbanization is another positive. Watch out, definitely fuel price hike, because all the commodity prices are definitely is going galloping. So definitely that is a little worrisome. But we will subsequent time we will show you how we are Ramco Cement is working to contain a fuel price hike the impact. That subsequent time will explain to you. And third wave, nobody can definitely, we can't predict if with so much vaccination, if third wave is contained, definitely the economy will bounce back like last year. And the monsoon is definitely this year is in south peninsula. Definitely monsoon is much inferior than previous years. So the south definitely the individual housing demand is marginally degrown compared to first quarter last year, but second quarter we are seeing a bounce back, because we are also talked to housing finance companies and banks, and last week we are also had a meeting with the top management of 2-3 banks. According to them, definitely the retail retail uptake of loan definitely bounced back from third week of June as well as July. So definitely that is a good news for us, because the demand for cement will definitely go up. Infra demand has picked up very nicely. Demand from commercial segment is also up. Demand dampened due to lockdown in May, June, and especially South Peninsula has affected very badly. The month of April, definitely we have done very well. The month of May, as soon as the lockdown was imposed, and it was very severe. The lockdown was severe because the northern area had a lockdown before that in the month of the late March as well as the first week of April, whereas we were doing well in the month of March, April. But in May, because the second wave was created such a panic in Delhi as well as in Mumbai, so the government of Tamil Nadu took very active. Government of Tamil Nadu and Kerala took very stringent measures to contain the movement of the people or movement of vehicles. Even during the first wave, we were able to move cement, but during the second wave, even they restricted movement of vehicles. So definitely that affected our cement movement severely during month of May and early part of June. But now almost normalcy is returned, except in Kerala. Kerala still have weekend lockdowns. So other than that, definitely Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka, and East, the movement is normal, but monsoon is affected a little bit the sales of the cement. So weekend lockdowns still continue in Kerala. Prices have improved year on year. The signs of demand recovery is visible. The East, definitely individual housing saw good growth. Infra demand has picked up. Demand from commercial segment is up. Prices have improved year on year. Strong demand recovery expected to sustain. So as far as the capacity utilization is concerned, based on clinker, last year same quarter we have 53% capacity utilization, but this year we had 71% capacity utilization. So the revenue has gone up from 1,052 to 1,235 crores. That is 17% improvement. EBITDA has gone up from 270 to 370, almost 37% increase EBITDA. See this EBITDA, two aspects I want to tell you. Definitely our volume has impacted. Southern companies market has impacted more than the northern companies. In fact, northern companies had very least effect of the COVID-2. This wave 2, because certain packets only Mumbai and Delhi, such packets only affected. Whereas that's why I told you, since the new government has come in Tamil Nadu as well as Kerala, they were very proactive and started imposing very, very strict measures. That is why our volume is affected a little more than what we expected, or a little more than what northern companies have affected. So even with that, our EBITDA, we are able to improve from 270 to 370 crores. It may be subsequent clients. So it is also one of the EBITDA level, even though we are volume is affected, one of the best EBITDA in last certain quarters. So profit before tax is 250 crores compared to last year 156 crores. Profit after tax is again profit after tax. If you see the only actual tax payable, because because we are at 34% tax slab, and even though we are only MAT company, I provided almost 49 crores towards the deferred tax. See, that will otherwise my profitability might have been 200 crores plus. So let us not think that the profit is only 116 crores. It is 200 plus 200 crores plus if I remove the deferred tax effect. So the profitability is 50. It is more than 54% jump net profit. So here you can see. Yeah, here you can see tax. The current tax is only 43 crores, and the deferred tax liability provided is 37 crores. If I remove that deferred tax liability, it is only the book entry. Our actual tax, actual profit after tax is more than 200 crores. See, this is the thing I was explaining. The 270 crores is the EBITDA, 450 crores, 403 crores, 459 and 370. So the EBITDA percentage is 30%, one of the best in the industry. So compared to last year, 26%. Profit before tax is 20%. Profit after tax after the event, even after providing deferred tax, is 14%. So the EPS has grown by 40%. Definitely the first quarter was very challenging year as far as the raw material cost and other fuel costs are concerned, because always we used to have very high inventory of fuel at very low cost. But unfortunately, the availability itself has become big question mark. Last quarter of this year, because we were not able to import coal or petcoke in a big way of normal what we do. But still, our average cost of inventory petcoke cost is around $110 to $112 compared to today the spot price of $150 to $160. Even we are able to build up some stock that fuel stock has gone up by 150 crores. Also, the working capital, overall working capital, including even the packing material, we were expecting the availability of packing material will be problem. So even we increase our packing material stock. See, again, the inventory increase itself was more than 400 crores. Our working capital increase was around 400 crores, which we are confident that will bring down to normalcy this quarter end or early next quarter. So the rail power efficiency is 12% compared to last year only 8%. The lead distance for the current quarter is 346 kilometers compared to last year 315 kilometers. This is the power cost. This year the green power in the sense it is waste heat recovery as well as wind power constituted almost 14% of our total power consumption. We are confident the next quarter with the availability of more wind power and also partial commissioning of the expanded third phase, that it may go up to 18 to 19%. And overall, maybe in third quarter and fourth quarter, I'm confident that this number will be around 20%. So the usage of petcoke has been brought down from 56% to 38%. The coming quarter it will be still lower, and we are going for alternate fuels. The alternate fuel has gone up from 11% to 28%. The imported coal is 33% to 39%. We have sufficient stock, and we have, I can say, reasonably low prices we have covered for next 4 to 5 months. See, these are the indexes we might have gone. I need not explain. These are all the published figures. See, we have commissioned our Jayanthipuram plant in June last week. So I can very glad to inform you that within one first week of commissioning itself, we are able to stabilize the plant almost to the 80% of the guaranteed capacity. So because of monsoon, we have to stop the kiln again for some days. Again, last 1 week it is running very smoothly, and the new clinker has been sent to our grinding units. As far as the cement has been produced out of the new clinker, the quality is well accepted in the market. So after expansion, the clinker capacity has increased to 13.65 million tons, and today the cement grinding capacity is 20.4 million tons, and WHRS is today existing is 18 megawatt. So in Jayanthipuram, another 9 megawatt will be commissioned. Out of 9 megawatt, 6 megawatt will be commissioned another 2 months time, and 3 megawatt will be commissioned during last quarter of this year. Kurnool, this 12 megawatt will be commissioned maybe third quarter or fourth quarter of this year. So the TPP capacity is around 175. So with the Kurnool, we are going to commission 80 megawatt. With that, the total TPP will be 193 megawatt, and WHRS will be almost 40 megawatt. Capex incurred during the current quarter is around 400 crores. So many people thought that Ramco Cement may not be possible to expand in Tamil Nadu because the limestone reserves are constrained, but we have sufficient limestone reserves, so we are expanding in Tamil Nadu. We are going to put up a new 3,000 tons per TPD plant. Our second plant, originally it was commissioned as only 200 tons. Then subsequently with lot of upgradation, we made it 1,450 tons per day, but that is inefficient. So we may decommission that, and we may run only the first line and third line. Is our today's plan. So the estimated project cost is 476 crores. So all the orders, the equipment have been ordered, and the civil work also have been finalized by the contractors. So the public hearing is completed. So the environmental clearance expected September first week or second week. Then immediately we will start civil works. So we are confident we will complete work in 15 months from the date of EC. Also, we have plans to commission 4 dry mortar plants. The 2 plants in Tamil Nadu, that is in Aranagar as well as in Salem grinding unit, and 1 plant in AP and 1 in Orissa. So the AP it will be in Vizag, and Orissa it will be in our grinding unit in Pardaspur. The expected project cost is around 160 crores. Windmill, same, there is no increase in capacity, the same this one. The windmill generation, the first quarter as well as the month of July is better than last year. So this the percentage is over. We'll run a small video on the commissioning of the third line.
The Ramco Cements Limited, the flagship company of the Ramco Group, is marching ahead with the third line at its Jayanthipuram plant, commissioned in June 2021. The new line 3 has a production capacity of 4,500 tons per day. Prior to this, the plant had a capacity of 3.11 million metric ton per annum of clinker. With the third line commissioned, the capacity has increased by almost 50% to 4.61 million metric ton per annum of clinker. The raw mill and coal mill are from Loshe. The pyro along with kiln and cooler have been supplied by FLS. Clinker conveying conveyors are from Almond. We have erected a total of 12,500 metric ton of fabricated items and equipment. Our company's commitment to get the best of technology from anywhere in the world continues. The phase 1 of the waste heat recovery plant of 9 megawatt capacity was commissioned in September 2020 and is producing in full capacity. The phase 2 of 9 megawatt capacity was commissioned on 28 February 2021. The phase 3 of 9 megawatt is in progress. 60% of the existing power requirement of the entire unit is being met from waste heat recovery plants, which is an environment-friendly source of power. Besides reducing the power cost significantly, the company's investment in waste heat recovery plants demonstrates the commitment towards environmental, social, and governance initiatives. At Ramco Cements, we have gone beyond just manufacturing cement. We provide customized engineering solutions for civil structure. Through a combination of research and development and collecting customer feedback from engineers, architects, and developers, we have utilized our technical expertise and years of experience to develop the right cement for right application.
we at Jayantipuram have commissioned the new Line 3 kiln along with raw mill, CF silo, coal mill, clinker conveying equipment and the clinker silo. The new line is in operation since end June 2021. We have also commissioned the waste heat recovery boilers for our kilns and they are also commissioned. Thank you.
Every project, home or structure has its own unique requirements, constraints and different end users. That is why we have done extensive research to come up with a variety of cement solutions to meet each of these requirements without compromising on strength, durability or workability while saving on costs. With Ramco Cements, you get more than just cement. You get engineered cement solutions.
Thank you. Now we are open to questions.
Yeah, thank you, sir. We will now begin with the Q&A session. You can ask your question by raise of hands in the attendees tab of WebEx platform. The participants who have logged in from phone, they can ask also a question by pressing a star and 3. So we'll wait for a moment for the question queue to assemble. Yeah, one more thing is that if anybody is asking from the phone, please introduce because we can't see the name, only the number is coming. Yeah, so first line is getting unmuted from the Kamlesh. Yeah, your line is getting unmuted, Kamlesh. You can go ahead.
Yes, sir. Yeah, thanks for the opportunity, sir, and very resourceful presentation. Sir, one question on the part of capex, like how much capex is still pending for the projects which we have under construction, and the debt levels as on quarter end.
See, another 400 crores capex is spending on the existing projects because we expanded the scope of the construction also. See, first we thought even in Kolimang, in Kurnool, we're not completed, we are only the first phase. Also for the future, also we are making provisions in the concrete, such as everything has been provided. So because of that, there is little scope increase and the cost increase in the overall project cost. If you see the only first time, there's no big cost increase. Suppose taking into account the second scope also, the cash flow already is little overshot, and but that will be contained once we complete the project.
Okay, sir. And sir, debt level, sir?
Debt 3,700. See, debt level, mainly the debt has gone up because there is a working capital increase in almost 400 crores in the current quarter. So with that, our debt has gone up to 3,700 crores. But we are confident by this quarter end, we'll bring down the working capital by that, the 400 crores will be reduced, and there will not be any further borrowing, and we'll bring down the loan availment also.
And sir, this 400 crore capex spending, does it include the dry mortar capex and the RR Nagar as well, or it is over and above?
Does not include RR Nagar because we may not be able to. No, this does not include RR Nagar because it will take some more time for the RR Nagar to pick up the construction space. But it includes dry mortar.
Okay. And sir, lastly, on the fuel cost, like say in this quarter, how much was the per 1,000 kilocalorie cost of coal, and what is the current purchase cost which we are incurring in this particular quarter or the ongoing quarter?
So as I told you, today the purchase price is around $150 to $160. But whereas corresponding last year, the average was around $70, $69 to $70. And in fact, second quarter last year was even still lower than the first quarter last year. But today, the spot price of petcoke is around $150 to $160. But still, we have not purchased anything at that price. still we have inventory for next 3-4 months. We will wait and see the price trend and buy more, depending upon the prices.
Okay. Thanks a lot, sir.
Yeah, next question is from one user from who has dialed from the phone. His number is getting unmuted. Yeah.
Hi, sir. This is Nitin Arora from Axis Mutual Fund. Thank you so much for taking my question. Sir, just dwelling more on the volume side. In the starting of the call, you said India economy was very less impacted, but cement was very much impacted. And I understand you stated the reason of South, the way states controlled, during the time of pandemic. When we see the similar players operating in South growing at 40%, 50% growth, and generally the end market which you supply, whether we talk to any contractors, the execution, the government didn't stop any execution, largely despite being the pandemic based on the South project, because severity was there across, throughout Q1 in across regions. So they say they are not much impacted on execution, reflecting in their numbers. The real estate players, the execution, what we saw in their numbers are not down. I'm assuming they're using cement only. So, sir, can you throw some light, because on a 28% volume decline base, we are growing at 10%. It's a clear-cut case of market share loss, looks like. Can you throw some light on it? And that's my first question. I'll take up the second question after that.
No, definitely we have not lost market share. That I am 100% I assure you. See, you should see the regional growth. This one region wise also. See, Tamil Nadu there was a total lockdown the month of May and part of June also. Almost 1 month there was total lockdown, and they are part of June also, almost 10 days. In Kerala, even today the lockdown continues for weekends. See, nowhere, no part of the country is having lockdowns except Kerala today. See, like that, you would see when we are major players in that, we don't lose market share, but we lose sales. See, everybody is affected when there is a lockdown. Does not mean that somebody can sell cement and our vehicle alone is stopped. Every vehicle is stopped. When our market share is more in Tamil Nadu and Kerala, then definitely we will be doing the short term. Definitely our sales will be affected little more than northern players or other players. That is definite, but we are confident we will bounce back once normalcy returns. Because the last year also we have seen such things, and the recovery in south is faster than the north. So definitely we are confident that our recovery in the coming quarters will be faster than other regions. Because other regions last year, if you really see, the capacity utilization is as low as 30 to 40%, whereas our capacity utilization is 53%. See, this year also our capacity is not that it is around 71%.
Getting it. And sir,
See, definitely for northern players, state like Uttar Pradesh, Gujarat, Rajasthan, and Madhya Pradesh is not that much affected compared to state of Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, and Kerala. So, okay, to that extent, since predominantly we are catering to this market, our volume might be little impacted more than the northern players.
Getting it. So my second question is related to the the profitability on the EBITDA per ton part. Though we said in the Q2 last year, the EBITDA per ton is sustainable, but once volume starts coming up, the EBITDA per ton normalizes. And generally, the states which you are working is sitting at a very high prices. I'm not saying that whether it go up or down, but generally, what's your sense on profitability? How one should look at going forward? That's my last question. Thank you.
See, since the commodity prices are all going up, reasonably we are confident that there might be much price pressure on cement prices. The cement prices will be going up only. Okay, since we are able to contain our cost, we are also, as I told you, we are also, see, last year WHRS was almost nil. This year, our almost 14% of our, 11% of our power equipment so far made by WHRS. The share will also go up, and we have also taken up a lot of other measures to reduce the cost. with that, we are definitely confident they will maintain their profitability. See, last year there was a pressure on yeast prices. This year, definitely yeast prices better than last year.
Thank you. Thanks.
Yeah, and next question is also from the user who has dialed from the phone. His line is getting unmuted. Please introduce yourself and go ahead.
Hi, sir. This is Vivek Gedda here from HSBC Securities. Firstly, I just wanted to check what will be the savings from decommissioning of line 2 and line 3 in operations at overall company level.
Sorry, we didn't understand your question.
We just wanted to understand what would be the savings from decommissioning of the older line at the company level.
Paranagar, you are asking. See, definitely the cost saving.
That's right.
Definitely cost saving. I'm not telling incremental EBITDA. The cost saving alone will be minimum 50 crores per annum.
That's from line 2 and line 3 combined.
Yeah. I'm telling cost saving. Then because of the incremental volume, our EBITDA will be because their plant is if you see the highest EBITDA will be from Paranagar plant in the country. So definitely the EBITDA will be the extra. I'm telling cost saving alone will be 50 crores per annum.
Got it. So second question is, your alternate fuel mix is almost at 20%, and it's significantly higher than India or even the world average. Just wanted to understand what all things constitute as a part of these alternate fuels, and how sustainable is that?
Oh, it is sustainable. See, we are using certain. Just I don't want to reveal what is the source of that alternate fuel. Definitely sustainable because these are all already we have stock for next 1 or 2 months, and these are participated in tenders, and we got committed quantity. So and committed price. So with that, I am confident that whatever alternate fuels we are projecting, that ratio will be improved, if not maintained.
So, sir, if I may put it the other way, if the alternate fuel mix is going to improve and your green power is also going to increase over the next few quarters, what kind of cost savings are we envisaging from just these two parts from a more sustainable basis?
See, that is why whatever percentage of increase you have seen in a fuel price, that incremental increase may not be there. See, whatever the fuel price increase, that will be there. That I can't avoid it because the prices today is much higher than what we have stock. So there may not be any incremental cost.
Okay, got it. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, next question is from the Mr. Naveen Kumar. Naveen, your line is unmuted. Please go ahead.
Good evening, sir. Congratulations on such a good figure as compared to current conditions. So my question is, what is the trade and non-trade mix percentage, sir?
Please around 75-25. 75 is at trade and 25 is non-trade.
Okay. So my second question is, what is the blending ratio, sir?
The blending ratio is almost same. Around 77% is the blended cement and 23% is the OPC.
Okay. And is there any premium cement, sir, or what are the targets for your premium cement?
So see, the premium cement in Ramco is really user based. See, it requires a lot of personal meeting, and we have to explain what is the benefit of my premium cement and the cost benefit. We have to explain in person. Then only the people can believe it and they buy. See, last year, definitely before year 1920, definitely whatever efforts we made, that gave very good results. Since the pandemic, our technical people, they are not able to visit the field. Okay, to that extent, it hampered our efforts to to gear up our incremental sales in our premium cement. But I am confident, okay, once this pandemic is over, we are able to, our people are able to travel, definitely we can increase the percentage of our incremental, percentage of our premium cement.
Okay. And what is the this railroad mix, sir?
It is around 88% is road, 12% is rail.
80% is rail.
88% is road, 12% is rail.
Okay. And what about, sir, a state-wise mix, sir?
So if we take Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Karnataka, it is 100% by road, and also Andhra Pradesh. South, you can take 100% by road. See, whatever rail.
I'm talking about sales, sir. Sales state-wise.
State-wise, I can't give you.
Okay. And what is the working capacity, sir? Is it more than 90% or some other figures?
So today we are working, if you ask me, today we are working around 85 to 90% capacity utilization.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
See, another thing, just I want to tell you to the audience, even though our borrowing has gone up, we are able to reduce our cost of borrowing almost by 200 basis points. And our working capital borrowing cost is as low as 3.4%. Number one. Number two, we are also launching new products. As I told you the last this one, we are also launching new products. Just 2 to 3 more new products. Next week, we are going to launch a new product by name Ramco Super Plaster, which will be used exclusively for the plastering of the walls and brick. This one. That next week we are going to launch it. That will also give good cost saving for us and also premium with the market.
It's not a cement.
It's not. I told you, Ramco Super Plaster.
Plastic.
It is a dry mix. It is a mortar type.
Okay, so next question will go to the Indrajit Agarwal. Your line is getting unmuted.
Yeah, hi. Thanks for the opportunity. Couple of questions. First, on freight cost, on a quarter-over-quarter basis, that is compared to March quarter, despite lead distance and diesel prices going up, our freight cost per ton has reduced. So, what has driven this?
It's not exactly freight cost. It also includes our godowns, the maintenance of godowns, and handling expense. All these things substantially, we are able to move the cement directly to the customers rather than moving it to godowns. That reduces the cost significantly, even though our lead distance is gone up.
So, it is largely sustainable, or there is any one-off?
It is sustainable. It is sustainable.
Okay, thank you. And when you say 85 to 90% utilization in July, this is on expanded clinker capacity or before the Jayantipuram expansion?
It is before. It is before because the clinker capacity just last. I told you we commissioned only on 20th of June. Then we 1 week we run. Then 1 week I got stop for taking maintenance of that. Last 1 week only it is running continuously. Whatever I told you, 85 to 90% is world capacity. But now all the kilns are running. So now the coming months, I may be coming months definitely our maybe August, September, definitely our whatever capacity I'm telling you will be at the full capacity.
So if I put it this way, so for June and July, or particularly for July, how is the current offtake level, not just for Ramco, for the industry versus say May and June? Is it more like almost 30-40% higher? Or?
No. It all again it all depends upon region specific because of this monsoon. See, the monsoon made all the difference because we never seen such monsoon in Karnataka and Maharashtra, and also we had cyclone in the east in the month of June, so that had its own effect. So every region is having its own challenges. So generally we can't say okay, this is the percentage each place can achieve. Because the monsoon is very heavy in Karnataka, also in Kerala. Tamil Nadu, we have rains, even though it does not hamper our sales too much, but the rains what we had in Tamil Nadu is 100 years high.
Okay, that is clear. One last question. What is the petcoke booking cost for March quarter? That is last quarter. You said this quarter was 110 to 115. How much was it last quarter?
It's almost same. It's almost same.
So,
No.
how,
No, sorry. Petcoke price, yeah.
Now it's
No. For the March quarter as well as June quarter, it will increase. Yeah, $14 increase. Yeah, there is a $14 increase.
all right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, and all the best.
Yeah, thank you, Indrajit. Next question is from the Amit Muraka. Amit, your line is unmuted.
Yeah, hi, good evening. So my question is on fuel mix. So I believe you currently have 80% of petcoke dependency in your fuel mix. So given that there is a substantial difference now between coal costs and petcoke costs, like are you looking to move that to coal, and is there a possibility to do that?
No, since petcoke prices are high, yes, I mean, the answer to that is yes. I mean, we are also now mixing coal and other alternate fuels also to stabilize the for total cost.
So what could you share your fuel mix for 1Q FY22?
Sorry?
Can you please share your fuel mix for 1Q FY22?
No. I mean, a lot of it is competitive information also.
Okay. Also on the question of volumes, you mentioned that the volumes were weak in South, but what I understand is volumes in East were quite strong actually in the quarter. And the companies that have reported have 15% QoQ drop in Q. So does that mean that South volumes dropped like 40-45%?
Sorry, we lost you.
Yeah.
We lost you, yeah. We can't hear you.
What I was asking is the East volumes have dropped about 15-20% is what we understand from the companies that have reported in the Eastern region. But your volume decline is much bigger, and I believe you have about 25-30% of your sales mix in East. So does that mean that the Southern volumes declined nearly 40-45% in the quarter on a QoQ basis? I mean.
Yes. Quarter on quarter, yes. Quarter on quarter, what you say is right, but if compared to first quarter
Of last year.
if you compare with the first quarter of last year, definitely East we have grown. See, last quarter was one of the exceptional quarter for us because we had done almost 3.2 million tons, which is almost 106% of our capacity. That is not possible for the first quarter to repeat because we have run out of clinker stock. Almost we have run out of we have run with the zero stock of the clinker and cement. So during month of April, we have to take the maintenance of the equipment also because February, March, the demand for cement was so good. We have postponed the maintenance. So in the month of April, we took the maintenance of the equipment. So in the month of April, we are able to dispatch only 850,000 tons against normal dispatch of 950,000 to 1 million tons. See, unfortunately, in the month of May, June, once our equipments were ready to dispatch full, the lockdown has been imposed. So because of that, we have to stop the kiln again because the silos are full. First, in the month of July, all the kilns are running, and we are confident the coming quarters, the capacity utilization will be good. And definitely, as you rightly told, this first quarter compared to last year first quarter, we have grown in the East by more than 30%, but in South we have degrowth. In both Kerala as well as Karnataka, we have big degrowth. Tamil Nadu, we are not degrown, but in Kerala and Karnataka, we have degrown. Well, I told you, although we have not lost market share, there is loss of sale for everybody.
Okay, sure. And on the new clinker line that you commissioned, so by when you think you will be able to reach, let's say, 70-80% utilization levels in that one?
Already we achieved. That's the thing I told you. Already we achieved. We guaranteed capacity 80 to 90%. Already we are producing.
Okay, sure. This is for the month of July.
It's shown in the video. All the 3 lines are running today.
Okay, sure. Thank you.
We are producing almost 12,000 tons of clinker in Jayantipuram last 2-3 days, in spite of months rains.
Okay, sure. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, Amit. Next question is from the Swagato Ghosh. Swagato, your line is getting unmuted.
Yeah, thank you, sir, for taking my question. Sir, firstly on the petcoke cost, you mentioned that your cost increased about $15 per ton quarter on quarter. So I just want to understand this better because if I look at spot prices and even if I consider that you have some days of inventory, the spot prices had started to move up quite sharply QOQ some quarters back. So how did you manage to maybe control this QOQ price increase to only $15 a ton? And a related question is, uh, like, do cement companies, larger companies have some sourcing advantage so that the spot price that we see generally, cement companies are able to buck that cost trend and able to source it more economically?
Yeah, we have certain long-term commitments from our suppliers. So because of that, we are able to source at cheaper rates, number one. But not the question of larger companies or small companies, the question of when you are entering the contract for the petcoke. That is very important for coal, petcoke as well as coal. Fortunately, we have placed orders, placed orders and we have stock. That is the biggest advantage we get. And now, to be frank with you, at $150, I not purchase even single ton of petcoke. Whatever last purchase price was around $15 to $116. So we not purchase anything under $150. I am not going to buy that at $150 also because we have stock and we are also accumulating our alternate fuels. The quantity also we are accumulating for 4 to 5 months.
Okay, sir, this is helpful, but just to ask this question in a slightly different way, if you had to purchase more of petcoke, you will not because of whatever reason you said, but if you had to, would the prices then reflect the sharp increase that we see on spot prices, which would be like more close to maybe $150, $160 a ton where petcoke has reached? Would we be also be procuring at that price if we have to incrementally more?
That will be 1 or 2 quarters afterwards, not now. No. Yeah, that's $160 for them and increase on it. They may not happen now. It will be only after 1 or 2 quarters because I may not buy at $150 per month.
Yes, got it. Got it. Okay, sir. Sir, and the second question is, I want to understand why are the older lines getting decommissioned? A very basic question. Maybe I'll have a follow-up once you give this.
See, our Aranagar, the second line was installed some 30 years back, only with 200 tons a day. The capacity was only 200 tons a day. Then subsequently, we are going on upgrading now. Today, the capacity is 1,450. That is power fuel consumption is very inefficient. So we want to decommission it so that we can save cost.
Okay, okay. Sir, when you say decommission, can't we have that line as an optionality in terms of to serve the market in days of high volume growth? Why do you want to decommission it? What are the probably, this is a very basic question, but why can't we like, yeah.
See, once you have such thing, our Ramco Cement always we believe in our efficiency. Once you have that option, then plant will be run inefficiently. See, once it is we identify it is inefficient, better to stop it, scrap it.
Okay, okay. And sir, this would be potentially
the market is really good, then I can expand the capacity also.
Okay, okay, okay. Fair enough.
I can put one more line.
Fair enough, sir. Fair enough.
It's important to understand that we also think like that, like what you just said. It's just that if it's so inefficient, its vendors will not have it. And the new line is anyway going to take care of that and more.
Fair, fair. I was just coming from the point of view, sir, that maybe there might be spikes in demand, which might not necessitate a additional line, but like this line might be kept as a backup. But okay, you have your reasons of efficiency. So the point is well taken.
If that is the case, I'm expanding in Andhra Pradesh. I can transfer the clinker and grind here also. We have sufficient grinding capacity. Because in Salem, I have grinding units. Sangalpet, I have grinding unit. I have sufficient grinding unit. If the demand spikes, definitely I can move clinker from Andhra Pradesh plant to Salem grinding unit and the Sangalpet and the Chennai grinding unit, and we can increase our volume.
Right, right.
So whatever volume I am transferring to Andhra Pradesh, that will be there to that extent I can conserve my clinker to the northern part of Tamil Nadu and I can send to southern part of Tamil Nadu from the existing plants, Tamil Nadu plants.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Okay. And sir, one.
Sorry to interrupt. Just I'm telling you. In fact, our Kurnool plant is very near to our Chennai grinding unit rather than our Tamil Nadu plants.
Right. Okay. Okay. Yeah. And sir, one last follow up on this topic is, did you do this very judiciously in a time when probably volumes are not that high and cash flow good for the company and the sector in general? So this is probably the right time to do this kind of kitchen sinking. Can we think about this move in that sense?
So volume wise, you can't, because if you see 18, 19, 20, we have achieved almost 100% capacity utilization. You can't say, I think, when the volume is low. See, 2021, because of pandemic, our products, our sales is less, not because of anything else.
True.
So since 1920 itself, we have done our 100% capacity utilization. We have planned both Jayantipuram expansion as well as Kurnool expansion. I might have announced RNR expansion also at that time. Because the projects are delayed because of pandemic, I don't want to scare the market, as well as also I didn't get the right contact with civil contractors, because our civil contractors are all busy with our both the Kurnool project as well as Jayantipuram project. So that is why we are announcing RNR project now.
Okay.
Otherwise, it was planned a year before.
Okay. Got it, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Swagato. Next question is from the Mr. Bharat Seth. Yeah, Mr. Bharat, you can go ahead. Your line is unmuted.
Hi, sir. Thanks for the opportunity. I just want to understand that in Q1, our utilization was only 71%. Despite that, we have purchased and outsourced clinker. So why, and we will continue to go on, outsourcing the clinker?
No. That is a one-time purchase. See, that was contracted in the month of January itself. We received late. There was a lot of delay in arrival of the cargo. Otherwise, there was no need for this one. Since we were able to sell more than 100% of our capacity in the month of last quarter of last year, we thought before commissioning of this Jayantipuram, we had a lot of demand for this cement. So we should have sufficient clinker to meet the demand. That is why we bought that clinker. And there are not any more buying.
Okay, sir. Now with commissioning of this Jayantipuram, and by year end, we expect to start Kurnool plant also. September. And we have set up several grinding unit in Odisha as well as in Kolkata, West Bengal. We were looking at some kind of a logistic cost saving. So how do we really see that? When will it start playing out? Logistic cost.
See, with all these things, our logistics, we have shown now, our average lead distance is only 394.
Despite the diesel price increase of 29%, the overall logistics cost per ton has not increased. So that means the logistics advantage is trickling.
That is mainly due to this commissioning of this grinding unit.
Yes.
And sir, Kurnool plant, we were also evaluating to enter into the newer market. So what stage it is? So can you give some more color on that?
No. From the Kurnool market, Karnataka is very near to Kurnool market rather than our Tamil Nadu plants. So definitely Karnataka, our focus would be more, and also Maharashtra market. So we are also exploring to set up grinding units on to other places. Okay, where I'm going to put up, that I will tell you in the next call, definitely. So with that, it may be not necessarily, it may be new territory, it may be the existing territory. For example, in Andhra Pradesh, we are not very much present in the Rayalaseema area. So I want to have one grinding unit in Rayalaseema so that we can increase our presence in Rayalaseema area much higher than what we are today. See, like that, one or two new sites also that Rayalaseema area for the granite water land record already purchased. Even 10 years back we purchased. And for the railway sealing also we now got necessary clearance. So that work also will start maybe after 1 or 2 quarters.
And is that correct understanding that with this increase in this alternate fuel and despite increase in the pet coke prices as well as other, so our fuel cost will not go much above, will not increase much?
It will not go much, sir. It will not go much. Yeah, your statement is right. With our planning, it will not go much.
Okay,
Because
thank you.
we are putting a lot of pressure on our plant also to go for alternate fuels, and which is much cheaper. So definitely it will not go up much. As you rightly told, it may go, but it will not go up much.
So are we still using lignite that we earlier, which we used to, we were using in our Tamil Nadu plant?
Yeah, we are using.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, next question is from Paridhi Agarwal. Paridhi, just introduce yourself and then ask question.
Hello, sir. This is Paridhi Agarwal from Kolkata, from Millennium Mams. Sir, I wanted to know, so how do you see the south prices and the east prices both moving from here?
Yeah, I told you the input costs are going up. So the producers, they have no option except to maintain the price and also to increase the prices because the fuel prices are going up, diesel prices are going up every day. So the producers have no option except to increase the price. I hope I answered your question.
Hello?
Amit?
Yeah, sir. Let's see as.
I hope I answered the question.
Yes, sir. You have answered. Next question we have with from the Nikhil Vyas. Nikhil, your line is getting unmuted. Please introduce yourself and then ask question.
Yeah, thanks for giving the opportunity. I have a question on the high value products that we have mentioned in the PPT, waterproofing, repair products, flooring screeds, and the liquid products. So what is our vision around it, and can you give more colors on that front?
So that is our from our dry mix plant. See, we have put up our dry mix plant some 7-8 years back in Chennai. The demand is very good. It is picking up nicely. So since we are serving that product from all over from only Chennai plant, we thought we will diversify into different geographies also. So 2 more plants we are going to put up in Tamil Nadu, one in Aranagar plant, near Aranagar plant, and another one in Salem. Then we are going to put up one in Vizag and another one in Orissa. See, after commissioning of all these things, if definitely we will look for more such plants in Calcutta, also in Karnataka. We are planning.
Okay, sales wise, do we have a? I mean, of course, it's too early, but do we have a vision around it? What are we looking at?
Yeah, each plant will have turnover of 50 to 70 crores. Whatever each plant, the potential is 50 to 70 crores.
Okay, and sir, one more question on Lynx Logistics. So we have made some strategic investment in Lynx Logistics. So what is the plan for that? Long-term plan?
See, long-term plan, the Link Logistics, see now they also expanded their business model from a last mile delivery. They are also now, one second, Mr. Abhinav is here. Who is the promoter of Link Logistics, he can explain to you better.
Right.
Yeah, so in the last 1 year, we've actually added a broader scope to the business. We've actually become more of a Kirana commerce platform now, where we aggregate and replace existing distributors and wholesalers for FMCG companies, and basically become a technology-driven distribution platform to Kirana stores. That's what we've been doing over the last 1 year and have aggregated more than 18 brands, and the business is scaling very well. some of the leading brands that we've onboarded are Marico, Dabur, ITC, Colgate, Beckett, and so on. So we have over 18 brands, and the business is growing quite rapidly at about 25% month on month. And we are now this business. We will be reaching out to financial investors to actually fund this and take forward.
Okay. Okay, thanks a lot.
See, all investments, to be frank with you, morning, they are not included that I can respond. See, whatever investment we made in Ram, as well as other investment, almost 40-50 times.
Yeah, so next question, we'll take it from Mangesh Badang. Mangesh, your line is getting unmuted. Please go ahead.
Hello, good afternoon, sir, and thanks for this presentation. So, a couple of questions from my side. In the recent media interview, you had mentioned that you expect the industry to grow by around 20%. So, you were mentioning that for all India or for southern region? That is for all India. And you even after 1Q, you maintain that I think 20% you expect for this year?
Yeah. So it all depends upon wave 2, how we are wave 3, how wave 2 is. See, we never anticipated that Kerala will be extended lockdown. To be frank with you, I never anticipated this. Because when May, June, when pandemic was over in all over the world, we thought the Kerala will also back to normal. But today, at least 6-7 districts of Kerala is severely affected, and half of the COVID patients are only in Kerala today. And we don't know wave 3. See, depending upon all these things, okay, the normalcy is returned, definitely the industry will achieve 20%.
Okay.
Definitely, southern companies will achieve 100%.
Okay.
Provided the normalcy should return, and whatever the monsoon, we thought it will be normal monsoon, but what we are seeing today is above normal monsoon in south.
True, sir, true. So second question is, so we have added around 3.75 million tons of clinker. So is it based on that added capacity of clinker, is it safe to assume that we could easily do additional 5.5 million tons, say by FY23?
Possible, 100%.
Okay. Yeah. So that's it from my side, sir. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Mangesh. Next question is from Girish Chaudhary. Girish, your line is getting unmuted. Please go ahead.
Yeah. Hi, good evening. Thanks for taking my question. On the RR Nagar capex, since it's a replacement of old mill, what will be the cost benefits due to better efficiencies, and also will there be any volume loss in the interim due to decommissioning of the older line?
Oh, there will not be any loss because of decommissioning of this one, because the new kilns larger size than the decommission the plant. So there will not be any volume loss, and the cost benefit alone will be 50 crores minimum. In power and fuel, the saving ability to you, that will be minimum 50 crores. Then because of the incremental volume, we are going to get extra EBITDA, that is extra.
Okay. So this 50 crores is for the 1,450 tons per day replacement.
Yeah, you're right. No, it is 3,000 tons because the extra 1,000 tons we are going to get, and also the extra 1,500 tons we get, and also we are going to decommission the 1,500 tons. The new, because our RNL is old plant, and the new we are going for the vertical mills for the raw mill as well as coal mill. They will replace the existing some of the existing raw mill requirement as well as coal requirement. So with all these things, our extra benefit cost advantage will be 50 crores.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you, sir. That's it from my end.
Yeah. Next question is from the Sanjay Nandi. Sanjay, your line is getting unmuted. Please go ahead.
Good evening, sir. So what kind of volume numbers we are expecting for FY22?
If 100% normalcy is there, definitely 20% is our That is our dream to achieve.
20% growth we're expecting, right?
Yeah, if there's no wave 3, definitely we want to march towards 20%.
Okay. Okay. And sir, you're talking of the 50 crore savings in the overall savings from the new clinker line. So this 50 crore is for quarterly basis or it's on annual basis?
Annual basis, you are right.
Annual
Please understand
basis.
only the cost saving. It is not the incremental profits or EBITDA. If you
Okay.
add that together, it will be more.
Got it, sir. Got it. And what is the current scenario, sir? In the first month of the July, like it's July already gone. So what has been the utilization levels in the southern part and areas where we operate?
See, today this one is around 85 to 90% of our capacity utilization we are able to sell. In respect of lockdown in Kerala and also heavy monsoon again in Kerala as well as Karnataka. This month also will achieve 85 to 90% of world capacity.
Overall. So, sir, if I'm not wrong, the exit utilization for Q1 was 46%. So, what has led to this sudden jump in the utilization? Is it because of the retail sales or it's institutional sales?
Well, yeah, both. Because last year was extended lockdowns. See, this year the lockdown was not that extended. So, okay, to that extent, number of days available for sale is more. That is why we have a growth, 11% growth. Okay, to that extent, utilization is gone up.
Okay.
And also, I told you, and also based on the clinker, see, in the month of this last quarter, we exhausted the full capacity. So there was no clinker available. So we are able to run clean more number of days, even in spite of the lockdowns.
Okay, sir. And the power and fuel cost is expected to just remain in this line, right, sir? Because we've already seen the power and fuel cost is expected to be in this line only, right? Because we've already seen a 30% kind of jump on a YY basis. So can we expect this to be stable or we can expect some spike in the prices?
I told you earlier, there may not be big increase in the power from this level.
Okay. Okay. Okay, sir. Thank you so much. That's from my side, sir. Wish you all the best.
Thank you.
Yeah, a reminder to all the participants, if anyone wants to ask the question, we can raise the hands in a participant tab. Yeah, your Ashish Jain. Next question is from Ashish Jain. Ashish, your line is unmuted. Hello, Ashish, your line is unmuted. Ashish Jain.
Sorry. Hi, sir. Good evening. Sir, like RR Nagar, is there a need to upgrade kiln lines at any other plants as well?
No, there's no need.
Okay. And so secondly, in terms of the waste heat recovery, what kind of cost savings do we envisage whenever the 39 megawatt is completely commissioned and fully operational?
See, the 14% of power is going to today around 11% of power is going to be free. We are going to get at zero cost. That is the advantage of the waste heat recovery.
So, sir, you are already at 14. This 14 will go to 25 whenever waste heat recovery is fully done?
No. See, 14 to go to 23 while commissioning the Jaintipuram plant. Then to go to another 12, 45 while commissioning the Kurnool plant.
Right. Okay. Got it.
So in Tamil Nadu, we have only small waste heat recovery.
So in Tamil Nadu also we have waste heat recovery, but does not generate additional power, but reduces the heat consumption at our power plant and reduces the cost almost by 50 paise per unit.
Okay.
In Jaintipuram, in Andhra plants, definitely we are getting additional power. It is replacing my TPP, thermal power plants. Whereas in Tamil Nadu plants, we are not getting additional power.
We are replacing the source of
the heat consumption at this one is brought down, and to the fuel consumption at TPP is brought down, and we are saving cost by almost 50 paise per unit. Already we commissioned RR Nagar plant a year back, and another 2-3 months we will be commissioning in our Oracle plant also.
Right. Thank you, sir. Thanks.
Yeah, next question is from the line of Sagar Parekh. Sagar, your line is unmuted. Please go ahead.
Yeah, good evening, sir. My question is on the capex. So you said 400 crore is the pending capex. So for this year, how much should we assume as the total capex for FY22?
FY22 will be around, no, without RR Nagar, it will be around 800 crores.
Without RR Nagar, 800 crores.
No, it's already
Not
not additional 800. It's additional 400, already incurred 400.
FY22 is awesome.
FY22.
Right. So 400 would be the pending capex in the 9 months, right?
Without RR Nagar.
Yeah, without. But RR Nagar you would possibly spend in FY23, right? Because
maybe next call I'll give you the full details, because now only we commissioning, because I'm yet to get the environmental clearance. So depending upon that only my schedule will give. I definitely next call I will clearly give you the what amount will be spent.
okay, understood. So basically, even if I assume 100-200 crores from RR Nagar, so overall capex now in the next 9 months will possibly not be more than about 600 crores maximum. And even if I assume about 1,400 crores of operating profit coming in the next 9 months from your business, so we are still talking about at least another 700-800 crores of debt reduction over and above the 400 crores of working capital. So can we assume about 1,400 crores net debt reduction from the current level then?
Yeah, thank you. You explained nicely. So I need not add any more.
Yeah, so yeah, correct. So this is the right reasonable assumption to make, right? About 1,400 crores debt reduction.
Just I will reduce my working capital also.
Right.
To what extent just definitely I'm confident we will reduce the working capital. If we are able to reduce the working capital, then whatever you say is right.
Okay, so but 400 crores working capital will be possibly be reduced by Q2 only, right?
See, we are working towards that. It is possible.
Okay, sure. That's it from my side, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Sagar. Sir, as there is no question, I'll just hand over to you for concluding remarks. Then we can.
Yeah, thank you everybody for participating in this investor call. Like CEO has said, we are very confident about continuing to perform at a high level. We are making all the right investments, and we hope that we continue to get your support in making sure that our company does well. Thank you.
See, at the concluding level, I want to assure one thing. We have not lost any market share in South. We lost only sales. And the definitely overall consumption has come down in the South. Because of that only our sales has come down and we have grown in the East.
Yeah, thank you very much, sir, for your valuable inputs. And that concludes this conference call for today. Thank you everyone for joining us. Thank you.
Thank you, Amit, for organizing a nice call. So thank you.
Welcome, sir.